Hey everyone, we are Alex and Tina. Since 2019, we started a travel blog named The Daily Packers, and since 2023, a YouTube channel in order to journalize all our adventure. We are a couple from France and Serbia who met in China back in 2014. Together, we traveled to more than 40 countries. In April 2023, we spent 3 weeks in Vietnam, where we visited the north and the center of the country. This video will be about our last stop in Vietnam, Hoi An, which is also our favorite. We arrived in Hoi An from Hue by train. If you want to know more about our first-class train journey in Vietnam, be sure to check our previous video. For the accommodation, we opted to stay at Merily The Art Hotel. It was a beautiful and cozy hotel, located in between the old quarter and the beach. They offered free bags to go around, the room was spacious and comfortable. Every day the room was clean and filled with complimentary water. Breakfast was really great and they had the best banana pancake ever. Plus the staff was really friendly and helpful, always available, and they helped us rented a motorbike and organized transfer from the train station and to the airport for a good price. So after checking in our accommodation, we borrowed 2 bikes and went to Hoi An Old Town. It was super quick by bike. As parking is not always free in the Old Town, we parked in front of a tailor shop and went into it to check it out. Hoi An is famous for tailor and handmade items, and therefore Tina decided to get some tailored clothes. There were so many options in the book that we decided to stop for now and check out on the internet and come back later with the design we want. We then strolled around the Old Town, which is incredible, and visited some other stores. They are all so cute and look so amazing. There are a few historical places to visit when Hoi An. However, you need to buy a ticket to access them. As it's a general ticket to access up to 5 of them, if I remember correctly, we didn't get it, as we already had seen a lot of temple and learned a lot of history throughout our 3 weeks in Vietnam. As it was still early, the night market only started to open. Yet the flea market where you can find fruit and vegetable stores was already open. So we went through all of them. And then we rejoined the main part of the old town. One stunning thing is how flowery it is everywhere, and I wanted to record it all, while Tina focused mostly on visiting shops. After a while, we decided to go for dinner. For that, we went at Nourish Eatery at the end of Old Town. We had the beer, the tofu buns, the tofu rolls and the vegetarian rice. Food was good, but a little bit spicy for us. From there, we strolled some more around the Old Town and around the Central Bridge. The Japanese bridge was unfortunately under renovation, so we couldn't enjoy all of it. In addition, it's also at night that the Old Town is at its liveliest, and it becomes much more crowded. At night it looks so different, but still so amazing. While hanging around, we also found one of our favorite stores in town, the Silver Lantern. They had really nice jewelry and earrings. One of the souvenirs that Tina loved the most is earring, so she got some. Plus, all jewelries in the store are actually made in the store itself, so it's super cool. We then headed back to our accommodation. On the way, we stopped at the flea market and bought 4 bananas and 2 mangoes. As our accommodation had a swimming pool, we agreed that we'll enjoy it at least once during our stay. To start the day, we did some yoga in our room and then went for breakfast. Once ready, we left on bikes for the city center. Our first stop was the rice field next to our hotel. They were so stunning. Next up was the Tailor, called Blue Eye, located in the Old Town. We opted for this one as it had good reviews online, and in the end we weren't disappointed with our choice. There we were welcomed by Lily and Anne, but mostly Lily took care of us and our orders. Tina had found on internet 2 summer dresses and 2 shorts, so we showed them to Lily and discussed the detail. A small thing that we really appreciated is that every time we went here, we received a little bottle of water. After validating everything, we tried negotiating a bit the price, but could only brought it down from 187 to 180 USD, or 4.32 million dong. To close the deal, I paid with credit card, and we then went on our way. We agreed on the fitting meeting the next day in the afternoon, but later the same day, Lily contacted us on WhatsApp to tell us that she already did the shorts and the dresses, and that we could already come by 6 PM the same day to try them on. After that, we decided to go for a coffee and a tea degustation at Reaching Out Tea House. The place is amazing and the service is done by deaf people. It was a unique experience. I opted for the coffee degustation and Tina the teas. We each had 3 cups, accompanied with a snack. It was delicious and super nice to see while watching the Old Town street. They also have a small tour in the rear, where we would have loved to buy everything. But we control ourselves and only got some lanterns and picture frame. As we were in the Old Town, we took the chance to stroll a bit around. It was so different, as it wasn't crowded like the last evening. It was therefore much more enjoyable. As the Japanese bridge is under renovation, we launched the drone to see what was happening there, and also flew over the town, which is just stunning. After that, we got back our bike and headed for a lantern making class at the Lantern Lady, which seems to be a good place to try this out. You can choose the size, shape and up to 4 fabrics for the lantern. And as it is a foldable lantern, it's easy to carry with you while traveling. We opted for the medium size with pre-made bracket. You can also make the lantern bracket on your own, but it will then take much longer. Also, you're actually doing the lantern in the yard of the owner, which is a unique experience on its own. Plus, the teacher spoke well English and her mother was also helping us. It took us 1.5 hours to finish it, and while it was super fun to do, it wasn't that easy, especially the connection between each type of fabric, but we would definitely recommend it as we really enjoyed it. As we passed noon, we started to be hungry, and so we biked to a nearby restaurant called Nourish Eatery, which will become our place to go for food in Hoi An. The place is super cozy and we love the food. We started with smoothie and opted for a passion for dragon and I love surprise one. And continue with the Greek out and Nourish bowl. We then returned to our accommodation to get change and picked up towel for the beach as our accommodation was providing them for free. We then biked 15 minutes to An Bang Beach, which is the biggest and nearest beach to Hoi An. The nearest parking from the beach is right in front, but is not free. Once on the sand, a local right away came to us because if you want a laying chair and umbrella, it isn't free and costs 50,000 per person. Or you have to get something to drink, like a cocktail or a mocktail, but a coconut will not make it. Or any food from the restaurant. As it was super hot, we opted for the chair, but without the food. The water was quite shallow, but warm. There also was a lot of strong current, yet it was really enjoyable to have a lazy afternoon by the beach. Around 5:30 PM, we left the beach for our accommodation, as it was getting dark and lots of locals were coming. After taking a shower, we went for the fitting session by the tailor. We loved what Lily had made. The shorts were perfect, but the dresses needed a few minor adjustments. Lily marked everything she had to modify and told us to come again the next day. To finish the day, we went for dinner at the Vegan in the Old Town, where we had a Larry beer, a hibiscus lemonade, a steamed paikang and a glass noodle. It was really good. And it was super cool to eat outside on the lively street of Hoi An. We then walked a bit around, stopped at some cool store and went back. Stopped once more on the way for 2 mangoes and then some snack at toothpaste in the supermarket next to our hotel. Once again, we started the day with some yoga, meditation and a great breakfast. We then asked the reception to rent a scooter. We got up to our room and got ready, and when we came down, the scooter was there. We went to the first gas station and refueled it completely, with around 5.4 liters, which might be a bit too much fuel, as you normally give the scooter back with an empty tank in Vietnam. Anyway, at least we will have enough for the next 2 days. We then drove 1 hour to My Sound Sanctuary. The ride was pleasant, but the sun really strong. We parked at the main parking and got 2 tickets. To access the site from the entrance, we took the free shuttle, but you could also walk the 2 kilometers between the site and the entrance. My Sound Sanctuary is a cluster of abandoned and partially ruined Shiva Hindu temples, and is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Between the 4th and 13th centuries, a unique culture which owed its spiritual origin to Indian Hinduism developed in the region of Vietnam. My Sound is the remain of a dramatic site that was the religious and political capital of the Champa Kingdom for most of its existence. The sanctuary is nice, but not too big, and is made of a few smaller sites to visit. We also got lucky and met with a wild monkey. One thing that you should not miss is the performance that is held in the little theater at the entrance of the site. So be sure to check the hour. As it was really hot, on our route we got 1 tea and 1 water, and once at our scooter we paid a small parking fee before leaving. Next we drove back 1 hour to Hoi An. We made a small detour by the Thanh Ha Pottery Village to see what was happening there. We ended up going all around the place on scooter as we didn't find it so interesting. We then headed straight for Nourish Eatery as we were starving. This time we opted to try the fresh me up as well as the tropical filling juice, and to continue the vegan fish tacos and the hummus toast. Once again, it didn't disappoint. It was now time to pick up Tina's dresses and shorts. Once in the Tailor, Tina tried them again, and they fit perfectly. So we thanked Lily and went back to our accommodation to get ready for the beach. This time we will try a smaller beach. We drove 10 minutes on scooter to the Coconut Beach, which was almost empty. There I ordered a beer and we got 2 laying chairs. It was much nicer as it was really secluded, and we got to see some local fishermen going on the ocean on a bamboo boat. 1.5 hours later we drove back to take a shower and later went to the Old Town. We parked this time the scooter in the regulated parking, as street parking is not allowed in Hoi An at night. What we were told is that the pavement parking costs 4 times more and is only allowed until 9 PM. Once more we strolled the Old Town. It's that magnificent that you cannot get bored of it. We stopped in a few shops and got 2 pins, as well as silver earring from gift, and from the same store as yesterday. For dinner we went back at Vegan. This evening we had 2 dishes of dumplings and 1 dragon lemonade. It was yummy, but the portion super small this time. We then had to order some more rolls. But we asked without black pepper, as it seems that they put it everywhere and Tina cannot digest it anymore. Unfortunately, the additional rolls came and were full of black pepper, so we had to ask the waiter to replace them so that Tina can eat it. Later, we hang around some more, got some cut mango, and then headed home. We woke up early as usual and stretched in the room. Afterward, we went for breakfast and talked about the plan for the day. There are many things you can do around Hoi An, but we decided to go to the Marble Mountain. Once ready, we hopped on our scooter and drove a bit less than 30 minutes to reach the site. It was quite easy to reach as we just had to follow the main road towards Da Nang. When we arrived, some lady told us that we can park there, right next to the entrance for free if we buy something from her later. To be sure, we also asked how much is the parking if we do not buy anything. And as it was 10,000, it was quite fair. We then went to the ticket office, but as we say we don't want to use the elevator, we were shown to another ticket office where you can use the stairs up the mountain. Marble Mountain is a cluster of 5 marble and limestone mountains that are named after the 5 elements. All of the mountains have cave entrances and numerous tunnels, and it is possible to climb to the summit of Mont Phui as well as visit several Buddhist sanctuaries. The area is also known for stone sculpture and stone cutting craft. However, direct rock extraction from the mountain was banned recently. Materials are now being transported from quarries in Guangdong province. Once in the site, we walk up the stair and discover a first temple, and later on some breathtaking caves, as well as a few viewpoints. It's so hot, it's so good here. There's a little breeze coming out of the mountain, down in, feels amazing. Going up some cave was at some point challenging, and there were a few traffic jams, but it was globally a fun thing to do. Reaching the last viewpoint was a bit challenging, as it was so hot. That was really worth it. Fun thing, to go to the toilet, you had to put their flip-flop. Not sure how clean is that. It was completely worth it. Not too crowded and quite easy to hike up using the stairs. There was really no need for the elevators. On the way out, we got 2 small bottles of water and therefore got the parking free. We then drove back to our accommodation. On the way, we got to see how they were drying rice on the side of the field, which was cool. Once arrived, we relaxed a bit and finally got the chance to try out their swimming pool. The water was cold but so refreshing. Lunch was once again at Nourish Eatery. This time it was super crowded, but we got a shared table in the back, which was nice. That day, we tried the burger, the falafel platter and a tropical juice. For dessert, we got the chocolate passion bowl. The food was so yummy there that we could have ordered the whole menu. As usual in Hoi An, we spent the afternoon at the beach. This time, it was the 3 Coconuts beach. The sun chairs were free, but you could see that they were older and really used. But it was the best beach we have ever been in Hoi An. During the afternoon, we got 2 fresh coconuts and got to talk with the person from the restaurant nearby as he was amazed by the drone and asked us to fly to the nearby beaches to see what was happening there. We really had a good time. We then headed back to our accommodation and took a shower before heading to the city center. This evening, the Old Town was super packed, as there was a festival taking place in Vietnam. The parking was dead full that they told us to park on the pavement opposite of the parking for free, but to be sure to lock the bike. Things that you don't do in the parking normally in case they need to move it a bit to get another one out. We then strolled around, and as we wanted to bring some souvenirs for our families, we bought 2 lanterns for 170,000 dong. However, the price started at 320,000 dong, and I think we could have gone lower. But we got a free 10,000 picture. As we had checked a few stores already, we knew the price in another one, without negotiating, was between 170 to 200,000 dong. So it was fine. This evening we weren't too hungry as we had big lunch, but Tina tried some street food anyway as she loved grilled corn. Corn was yummy, and we sat on the small chair by the rivers to enjoy the view. But we quickly got kicked out, and then we noticed that all the street food vendors were moving away. We don't know what happened there, but it was fun to see. One thing that we wanted to do is to put a lantern in the river. We saw that cute old lady and got one from her. After that, we got some coffee to offer and then headed back to our accommodation. And that was almost the end of our time in Hoi An and Vietnam. The next day, we headed to the airport of Da Nang, which is the closest airport from Hoi An, and flew to Hanoi to catch our international flight back to Europe. To get to the airport of Da Nang, which is some 40 minutes by car, we organized a transfer with our accommodation, as once again they offer a good price and it was cheaper than Grab. Hope you enjoyed this video because we surely enjoyed Hoi An. If you too are planning a trip to Vietnam, we made a little something to help you, the Vietnam travel map. This digital map includes all our pins from our 3-week travel in Vietnam, as well as all our preparation pins for southern Vietnam. Therefore, our Vietnam map includes all the places we visited: Hanoi, Sapa, Ha Long Lan Ha Bay, Tam Coc Ninh Bi, Hue and Hoi An, as well as all our preparation for Phong Nha, Nha Trang, Da La, Mue Ne, Ho Chi Minh City and Phu Quoc. The best reason to get this map is that you won't need to spend time pinning all ours and others tips and recommendations. Instead, you will get the full map from this destination for online and offline use. So check it out with the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Support us by subscribing to our channel, leaving a comment or liking the video.